My name's Derek. I work at the Thunder Bay Public Library, Thunder Bay, Ontario. I've worked here for 15 years with a focus on research databases and local history and genealogy. I'm here today with my partner in crime, Jolene.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
She's here to assist me if I need anything. And moral support. So now for this webinar, I really wanted to highlight our digital services that we have for our Thunder Bay Public Library users. We have numerous digital service options. We focus on ebooks, e-audiobooks. There's magazines, digital magazines. There's also graphic novels and comics, and even streaming movies and TV through the Kanopy service, which we'll see a video of in a little bit. You could even learn another language online. You just need a library card. And just to let you know, you used to have to be a resident of Thunder Bay to actually access these services, or you'd have to pay for a card. Recently, we offer e-service cards, though, which gives you access to our digital collection. So, and you don't have to pay for it. So I just wanted to put that out there. And then finally, we have our research databases, which is home repair, automobile repair, local history and genealogy. There's classical music, and your more general reference databases. And we also have our own YouTube channel, which is right here. During COVID, we really wanted to promote online resources. So we started doing a lot of online content. Here's Learning with the Library, and I'll get to that in a moment. I just wanted to point out this awesomeness right here. Library friends, if you have grandchildren, perhaps you'd like to show them this. It stars me as young MacDonald, and it's all right here. I actually sang Make a Fool of Myself, but it's fantastic. It's fantastic if you want to check out that. But we're here for more learning with digital resources. A little while ago, we put together a collection of tutorials called Learning with the Library, just to help people out with how to actually access our collection and how to operate within it. So that's what I'm really going to focus on today. These videos, I just compiled them all into one. Your local library will probably, hopefully, have things very similar. So hopefully there's something here that you'd like. So now, without further ado, I am going to start this video.
The Thunder Bay Public Library offers great online services for free. All you need is a library card.
Want to learn another language?
Je m'appelle.
Need to repair your broken lawnmower? Or researching your family tree?
We're married. To help you navigate our online services, a series of instructional videos can be found on our YouTube channel.
Are you trying to put together your family tree and in need of obituaries? Searching for a picture of your parents' wedding? Or maybe wondering how much you weighed at birth? In this tutorial, we are going to teach you how to access obituaries and social notices such as weddings, birth announcements, graduations, and more, dating as far back as 1875. Please note that this tutorial covers the Thunder Bay and surrounding area only. You do not need a library card to access this information, although we still encourage you to register for one to access the entirety of TBPL's virtual collection. You just need an internet connection and you're all set. From our homepage at www.tbpl.ca, select the red Research tab at the top of the page. When the sliding menu appears on the left, select Local History and Genealogy, then the Collections/Indexes option on the following page. From here, we see Indexes and Directories. You will now see title links to the indexes in blue. Note that while there were many newspapers published throughout Thunder Bay's history, our indexes primarily focus on the Fort William Daily Times Journal, the Port Arthur News Chronicle, Times News, and the Chronicle Journal. To find a listing, first determine which type of article you are looking for. For example, an obituary versus a social notice. Again, social notices are events other than death. Then select the appropriate date range and it will bring up the index. For an obituary, let's use former Mayor Walter Asif as an example. Mr. Asif passed away in 1988, so we are going to the Thunder Bay Chronicle-Journal Obituary Index. Then scroll down and select 1988 to 1997 date range. This brings up the alphabetical list of obituary notices by last name. Scrolling down the listing for Asif, Walter M., we see that his date of death was January 14, 1988, and that his obituary appeared in the Chronicle-Journal January 15, 1988 on page 21, as well as in the Times News on January 16, 1988, also on page 21. Since former Mayor Asif had quite a colorful past, let's take a look at the social notices to see if any articles were published about him. He served as mayor in the mid-70s and early 80s, so we may want to go to the social notice and news heading, and then scroll down to the July 1972 to 1979 date range. The index of social notices is sorted alphabetically by name. Notice the event column, which indicates if the event was a birth, indicated by a B, a marriage, indicated by an M, or another type of event. Also displayed is the date the event occurred if available, the newspaper source, date and page, as well as a brief description. In our example of Walter Asif, we will not see a birth or marriage in this time period. However, we will note that his 65th birthday announcement with a picture appeared in the May 31st, 1978 edition of the Chronicle-Journal on page 21, or that there was a picture of him boxing with Joe Major in the December 22nd, 1977 edition on page 1. There are dozens of other interesting articles as well that are accessible via our microfilm collection. So now that you've found the obituary, announcement, or article you are interested in, how do you get them? That's where our reference team is ready to help. If you are in Thunder Bay, stop into the Brody Community Hub and we can print it off for you or help you save it to a USB. If that is not an option, send an email to reference@tbpl.ca indicating the name of the person you are interested in, the type of announcement you want, for example an obituary, the date and page where it can be found, and in which newspaper. We will then scan a PDF copy of it and email it back to you. It's that simple.
Cloud Library Newsstand on iOS. Today I'm going to show you how to access Thunder Bay Public Library's digital magazine collection, which is through a service called Cloud Library Newsstand. I am using an iPhone to access this collection today. Before we begin, ensure your device is connected to the internet and that you have your library card number and PIN available. If you do not have a library card or don't know your PIN, please visit any of our 4 locations to get set up. First, we need to download the app by going to the blue App Store. Press the search function at the top and type in Cloud Library Newsstand. Ensure you are installing the correct app. It is white with a red CL in the middle, and it is by BibliMags. Then press the Get button. Once the app has completed downloading, open it. I am going to press Don't Allow for Notifications. This can always be changed later in your Settings app if you change your mind. I am pressing Please register online. Now a registration page has popped up. I am using a test card for today, but you will use your own library card and PIN. At the top, the language is set to English, but it can be changed to suit your needs. I'm going to tap on full name and fill it in. Then I'll do the same for my email, and the same again to confirm my email. I'm going to tap on password and create one. Make sure it's one that you will not forget. And tap on confirm password and re-enter the one you just used. I'll press the yellow Next button. Now, press Find Your Country and select Canada. Press Select Your Library and choose Thunder Bay Public Library at the bottom of the list. Enter your library card number, ensuring there are no spaces. And enter in your PIN. Press the yellow Register button at the bottom and log in one final time using your email and the password you created. And here we are. When I scroll my finger up and down, there are a lot of options. Probably your best place to start is pressing on the magnifying glass at the top right corner. You can select the language. Once again, I'm going to press on English. And then I'm going to select a topic from the list. I will choose Hobbies and Crafts. I'm going to look at this knitting magazine by pressing on it. And as you'll see, the newest volume is at the top with the back issues below. You can browse through these back issues by scrolling left to right. To open the newest magazine, press Read. Once it loads, you can browse through the magazine by scrolling left to right. Here is a knitting pattern. The text is quite small right now, but I can zoom into it by putting my pointer finger and thumb both on the screen at the same time and spreading them far apart. Likewise, I can zoom out by bringing these two fingers closer together. If I'd like to save this pattern, I can take a screenshot. On my device, I do this by pressing the volume up button and the power button at the same time. This may differ depending on what device you're using. Now that I have the screenshot, I can save it and it'll go into My Photos where I can access it later. To get out of this magazine, press the center of the screen until a menu pops up around the perimeter, and then press the back arrow at the top left corner. Do this a few times to get back to the home screen. On the home screen at the bottom, there is a feature called My Magazines. If you press on that, it will show the magazines you have downloaded. Once downloaded, magazines can be read even if you're not connected to the internet. If you require any further assistance, please email coaches@tbpl.ca and a library worker will be glad to help you.
Have you ever found yourself wondering about events that happened in the past? What a familiar building used to look like? Or even more about the lake you just bought a camp on? In this tutorial, we will be discussing how you can access our vast collection of newspaper articles, photos, and maps pertaining to Thunder Bay and Northwestern Ontario through a database named Gateway to Northwestern Ontario History. This database is managed by Thunder Bay Public Library and hosted by Our Digital World. Unlike many databases we subscribe to, Gateway to Northwestern Ontario History does not require you to have a library card, although we still encourage you to register for one to access the entirety of TBPL's virtual collection. Gateway can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. Using this database, you will not retrieve actual articles, but instead will be provided with indexed entries to articles that help us find the information for you, but more on that later. So let's get started. To access Gateway to Northwestern Ontario, start by going to our homepage at www.tbpl.ca. Click on Research at the top of the page, and when the sliding menu appears on the left, scroll down and select Local History and Genealogy. Then Collections on the following page, like so. On the Collections page, beneath the Virtual Collection heading, you will see a detailed description of what Gateway has to offer, as well as the blue title link for Gateway to Northwestern Ontario. Click on that and we are now directed to the Gateway homepage and are ready to start searching. In this tutorial, we will be giving you 3 different search examples, one for newspaper articles, one for photographs, and one for maps. Let's begin by pretending we are looking for newspaper articles regarding a bank robbery that we think happened in Port Arthur in the 1970s. Although there are options such as advanced search or browse by location, we recommend just starting off with a basic search by entering a few key words in the search bar at the top. Don't worry, searches can be further refined, as you will soon see. Using our example, we're going to type in the words bank robbery and then select search or enter on the keyboard. This search has given us 107 hits, meaning 107 references pertaining to bank robberies have been indexed. Scrolling through all 107 would seem to be an onerous task, but as previously mentioned, there are many ways we can refine the search to the specifics we are looking for. Over on the right-hand side of the page, there are options for sorting chronologically or by filtering contributors, item types, or specific years. Since we are searching for an event in the 70s, and we wish to search what Thunder Bay Public Library offers, we can sort oldest date to newest, then select Thunder Bay Public Library as the contributor. We now have 102 records, but they are all sorted in ascending chronological order. This type of sort is particularly useful if you are following a particular event or case and want to gather articles in the order the events happened. In our example, we can scroll down until we get to the 1970s, or we can use the years filter on the right-hand side and select 1970s. Doing so further narrows our search to 27 records. The initial results list displays minimal information. However, if you click on any result, the following page will bring up more details. If we select the first listing, police holding suspect in daring bank holdup, the detailed information tells us that the incident occurred at the Royal Bank on Hodder Avenue, and a suspect is in custody. Now let's assume that this extra bit of information tells you that this is indeed the bank robbery you were interested in. You can then hit the back arrow to get to your search list and further refine it by navigating to the Search Within These Results option on the top right and entering additional search terms such as Hodder. You are now left with abstracts for the 3 indexed articles that are specific to the event you are seeking. So, how do I get these articles, you ask? The friendly folks in our reference department are happy to help you. If you are in Thunder Bay and able to come into the Brodie Community Hub, we can print them off for you. If this is not an option, we will gladly scan the articles and email them to you. Send your requests to reference@tbpl.ca. In either case, providing us with the title of the article, the source, for example, which newspaper, the date, and the page will expedite the process and ensure you get precisely what you are looking for. Now that you are a pro at searching for newspaper articles, let's move on to photos and maps. The process is basically the same as searching for articles, with the exception being the media type filter we choose on the right-hand side. Let's try another example this time. We'll look for photos concerning the royal visit. Let's get back to the Gateway homepage, and in the Search Fill-In field, enter the basic keyword search Royal Visit. This search reveals 141 hits, which may seem daunting. However, with the tips we've already learned, we can narrow this down in no time. Because in this case we are looking specifically for photos housed at Thunder Bay Public Library, we will select Thunder Bay Public Library as the contributor, then go down and select Images as the media type. We now have 39 photos of King George and Queen Elizabeth's visit to Fort William, Port Arthur, and Sioux Lookout in 1939. As with articles, clicking on the blue title will reveal more details about the photo, such as the date, if available, size of original, our location number, and something particularly important with photos, copyright status. If you are in Thunder Bay and wish to view any photographs, just drop by our Brodie Street location with the photo identification information and we can show it to you and possibly provide you with a digital copy or photocopy. If you can't come in, please email us at reference@tbpl.ca and we will assist you. With all photographs, however, it is important to be mindful of the copyright statements and the laws surrounding them. Maps can be searched in much the same way as photographs. Let's start off again at the Gateway homepage and try a search for Northern Light Lake to see what kind of maps are available to view. In the search bar, type Northern Light Lake and click Search or hit Enter. This brings up 81 hits. However, we are only interested in maps that are housed at the Thunder Bay Public Library. Therefore, as in previous examples, we will select Thunder Bay Public Library from the list of contributors, then scroll further down to Item Types and select Maps. This has limited our list to 10 maps of Northern Light Lake and surrounding areas. You could look at each one. However, say if you were only interested in fishing maps, you will note that the filters on the right-hand side include a drop-down menu for subject headings, which categorize the types of maps. If we select fishing, it will update our search to only display fishing maps for Northern Lights Lake. Clicking on the blue title link for a map you are interested in will provide further details such as the publisher, date issued, geographic coordinates, our location identification, and a copyright statement. Here we see a slightly larger image than the thumbnail on the previous page. However, due to the size of the maps and their file capacity, it is not possible to provide large map images online. Maps are best viewed by coming into the Brodie Community Hub or by emailing us. If you have any questions about using the Gateway to Northwestern Ontario database or about locating local history information, please contact the Reference Department of Thunder Bay Public Library by email reference@tbpl.ca.
Show you how to use the Cloud Library app for the Thunder Bay Public Library. You'll see I already have it downloaded here. It's the white one in the center of the three. But if you need to get it, make sure you go to the App Store. Alright, so I'm going to press on Cloud Library and I'm going to select a language. I only speak English, so now I'm going to tap anywhere on the screen to continue. We are in Canada. We are in Ontario. We're at the Thunder Bay Public Library, so I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Select that. Then press on Next. And then Accept. And now I have a dummy card, if you will. So I'm going to type it in. All library cards start with 2934100. And then yours will be different from here on out. And your PIN is usually 4 digits long. So now you'll see that we're logged in. There's 4 icons at the bottom: Home, My Books, Search, and Account. So if I press on Search, the main screen that you'll see here is the featured items. But I like to go to all, so that way we're not just seeing a sampling of what we have, but anything you may be interested in. So before we scroll and browse, what I'm going to do is go to the top right icon. It looks like a funnel. This is the filter button. So right now I have these preferences saved for ebook, available now, and English. But you can adjust as you need. If you want something in a different language, you can check that off as well. But I'm going to just pretend that I only want an ebook, so one that I look at the screen and read as opposed to an audiobook, and one that's available now, so I don't want to wait for it. So I'm going to press Save. The next thing I'm going to do is press on Adult/Nonfiction. I'm going to select different categories I might be interested in. So let's say I'm not interested in business and economics. I'm going to deselect it, so now it's white. And you'll see near the top that there's adults, teens, kids, And nonfiction, there's also fiction if I press on that. And I can select or deselect as I like. So let's say I want Christian, I want classics, but I don't want mystery, I can deselect that. I don't want romance, I can deselect that. Now I'm going to save my preferences. So that's at the top right. Save. Now if I wanted to browse through classics, I would press on all. You'll see classics and then all. And I can select any one of these to take out. So I'm going to press the green borrow button. Say I want this top one. Now I'm going to press read. And it's going to take one moment just to load. And now it's open. If I press the direct center of the screen, a menu bar will pop up. You'll see at the top there. This is where people really like to customize things. So actually I'm going to just go onto a regular page. Here we go. And then press the center. If you see the double A's at the top, press on that. And there's some great options here. So there's a small A and a big A at the top of the menu that popped up. So if I press the big A, it gets bigger and bigger depending on how many times I tap it, or smaller and smaller if I tap the small A. Something I personally like is night mode. And I find that's a lot gentler on the eyes. A lot of people really enjoy that. In order to flip through pages, you tap on the left of the screen or the right of the screen. You can also select scroll mode. It's green, so I can do scroll mode. And I would go up and down. But if you don't like that, again, just press the center of the screen, press the double A's, make that white again. And then you just tap on the right of the screen to go to various pages. And now I'm going to show you audiobooks. So I'm going to press again the filter near the top right. I'm going to select audiobook and I'm going to deselect ebooks just to see what there is. Press save. And let's see, I'll take this one out. Borrow. And now I'm going to listen to it. And what's really good about this is you'll see that there's a circle, so it's downloading. So let's say that you're going on a trip. You can just open this up and wait for it to download. It may take a minute or two, depending on the size of your item and the strength of your internet connection. And you can load it onto your device, so that way you can have access to it even without internet, Wi-Fi access. But just for our purposes, I'm going to press the play button here.
Swan's Way by Marcel Proust, in the translation by C.K. Scott Moncrief.
And I can press pause by pressing that again. And once again, there's different options near the top. Make the narration go faster or slower, depending on your preferences. There's this 3-line bar on the right-hand side. There's different tracks. And tracks usually mean chapters, but not always. It depends on how the publisher has divided it up. Press the X. Alright, and then we're downloaded, so that's great. Now I'm going to press the X at the top left. And let's say that I wanted to go back to that ebook I was reading. Well, I'm going to go to My Books at the bottom. And then I would just open it up again. So I would press read. And it's back to where I left off. I'm going to close out of here again. If you finish with the book early, you can press the red return button, or it'll just delete itself at the date and time it says. Also, if you get within 72 hours of an item being due, but you're not finished, as long as the item does not have a hold, there'll be a purple button that says renew, and you can press on that and get more time. Lastly, what I always like to show people, if I go back to search, what you can do is at the top right again with your filters, we can select suggestions for the library. So if we don't have access to a book or an audiobook that you might be interested in, well, you might be able to get it by doing this. I have suggestions checked off, so I'm going to press save. And let's just take a browse here. This yellow-orange suggest button, so let's say I want this top book, I can press on it, and I would be notified when it came in. Not a guarantee, but I have personally gotten a lot of books like this. So I'm just going to remove suggest for now. Oh, another good way to search for items is, let's say I wanted James Patterson. I would type in James Patterson and search. And it's going to show items I can borrow. Yeah, there's a lot of audiobooks. You can always see it's an audiobook by the little headphones in the corner there. And if I go to my filters, let's say I just want ebooks, you can press borrow. Sometimes you'll have to put something on hold so that, oh yeah, here's a good example. Press hold, and then when it's available, you get notified and you get to take it out. And you can also suggest, same as the other one.
The basics of Kanopy, a streaming movie and television service. Kanopy's slogan is "Be entertained, be enriched," and they meet that goal by offering Hollywood movies across all genres, Criterion Collection titles, world cinema, documentaries, and more. From classic westerns and science fiction to the festival favorites of today, you're sure to find lots to enjoy on Kanopy. Kanopy is available to you with no ads or commercial breaks and is completely free for all TBPL members. Kanopy is only available when connected to an active internet connection, and videos cannot be downloaded for later viewing. To access Kanopy, you must create an account using your library card and PIN. Go to tbpl.kanopy.com and click on the orange Add Library Card button. Type in your library card and PIN. If you do not have a library card or have forgotten your PIN, please contact us and we will gladly assist you. You will then be prompted to enter a username and create a password. Now that you have created your account, Kanopy will be available through the Kanopy app on your phone or tablet, your desktop, and on your smart TV or Roku device. Visit tbpl.kanopy.com if you are watching videos on your PC, or open the Kanopy app on your device. Click on Log In and then do so using your new username and password, not your library barcode number. On the Kanopy homepage, you will see regularly updated feature lists like newly added movies, newly added documentaries, and newly added series. To view the complete list of feature titles, just click on the list heading. You can then scroll through the list and select a title that interests you. Each video page will include a description, the runtime, distribution year, filmmaker names, the language, and a list of associated subjects. Click on any subject to see all titles that fall into that category. To return to the previous screen, click on the back arrow or use your remote. Once you have chosen a video, you can either select to play immediately or click on plus My List to access it later. To find your watch list, scroll to the bottom of the list of featured shelves or click on your name. The drop-down menu will link to your watch list and viewing history. Click on the Kanopy logo to return to the home page and search for a specific genre. Beside the search field, click on the word Browse for a full listing of available categories. You can now select a specific movie genre, like war and action, and see various featured subcategories such as contemporary and classic action movies, action comedies, westerns, and contemporary and classic war movies. All patrons have 4 play credits per month. When you click to play a video, you spend a play credit and have access to that video for 3 days. Your play credit balance will always be displayed in the top right-hand corner. If we return to Browse, we can see the many different categories available in health, global studies and languages, and social sciences. Let's say I have an interest in ancient history. Here we can see various featured subcategories, and if we keep scrolling, we can see all the search results related to ancient history. From here, we can filter our search results by subject, or even year of production, until we find one we're interested in. In addition to movies and documentaries, Kanopy also offers the Great Courses. These expert-led instructional videos cover almost any topic you can imagine and are entirely unlimited. Great Courses do not cost a play credit to watch. To begin, type Great Courses in the search field and hit Enter. You'll now see a massive list of all the courses available. If we sort by most popular, we can see what other Kanopy users have been learning. To look for a specific subject, we can click on Subjects to open the drop-down menu. You can also type Great Courses and your area of interest in the search field. For example, I could type Great Courses and Cooking. I can then scroll through my list of results, clicking into a video and adding it to my watch list for later, or watching the video immediately. We're sure Kanopy will offer you hours of entertainment. Thank you.